All right, welcome everyone to the final video of the VCE OES video series for Unit 3. Today we're looking at 3.2.5, which is social debates within outdoor environments. Now for this particular key knowledge point, there are multiple different social debates that you could learn about, but you only need to learn about the one specific from the list. So if you can have a quick guess about what today's topic might be about, today we are looking at renewable energy as our key knowledge. So we're looking at the influence of social debates on relationships with outdoor environments, including one of the following options you had here were climate change, renewable energy, and water management. Today's focus is all about renewable energy. And our key skill here is analysing the influence that it has of this social debate, so the influence renewable energy has about in relationships with outdoor environments. So, what is a social debate? Australia and the world are facing an environmental crisis. There are many strong and vocal opinions on how to save the world and how to save outdoor environments. Some advocate for moderate measures and responses to issues, and as a result, debate exists among community, government, and who are responsible for the decisions that eventually will be made. So there's lots of debate about how we should be using our environments. And the renewable energy one is quite a large topic. So renewable energy and the debates that are involved. There is a vast majority of the energy consumed coming from fossil fuels in Victoria. This is oil, coal, and natural gas from ancient plants and animals. We are quite dependent on fossil fuels to make electricity, to heat our homes, and to drive our cars. Consuming fossil fuels is about 100 times faster than they are produced. So we're really using way too much fossil fuels, and these will not last forever. The burning of our fossil fuels also contributes to our emissions more than anything else that we are doing. Now, renewable energy is energy that is obtained from natural resources that cannot be replenished. This includes wind, sun, water, tide, geothermal, and biofuel energy. A fun fact for you is 36% of Australia's energy comes from renewable energy resources, which is from about 2023. Now, we understand from the last topic that the Greens Party really want to push that 100% renewable by 2030. We are now in 2025 as this video is sitting, so we've got a long way to go to get to that 100%, but you never know, it might be achievable. So here are the different types of renewable energy that we have and the description of what it is and then the debate that is occurring within it. So what I would be doing is I'd be choosing about 3 different types of renewable energies. So let's say we're going to start with wind energy. Wind energy is electricity generated from naturally occurring power of the wind through small household turbines to large industrial-sized wind turbines or wind farms. The debate that's occurring with wind energy is the environmental impact is negligible, but debates have been heard over the noise produced by the rotor blades, the visual impacts, and the deaths of birds that fly into the rotors. So they're talking about bird mortality. So the key debate here is, well, we're having birds fly into the wind turbine blades, they're not visually appealing, and they're noisy. That's pretty much it. Okay, the pro side, we're talking about, wow, we get free energy from the wind. We can put them out in the ocean, or they're generally on like bare empty landscapes. So really, what's the harm of them? Let's say our second is solar panels. So solar panels on the roofs of homes and businesses capture the sun's energy to generate solar energy cleanly and quietly. The main issue or debate with solar energy is that you cannot make solar power at night because obviously the sun's gone down. There are land disturbance or land use for large solar farms. There are visual changes to the landscape. They impact hazardous with materials, and energy required to manufacture also generates lots of emissions. So there are a few sort of debates about the purpose of solar panels. Another sort of debate about solar panels too, which isn't mentioned here, is that any energy that's used, let's say at a household level, say, as myself, I have solar panels at my house, and I'm not home most of the day because I'm at school teaching. So any power that I'm generating doesn't actually get to be used by me unless I have a solar battery, which I do not have. So all the power I'm generally generating is at night time when I get home when the sun's down. So a lot of my power is going back to the grid, which is great for the grid. But now that more and more people are getting solar power, lots more power is going into the grid, and therefore it's not being utilized as much. And let's say for our last one, let's choose. I will just go through hydropower. So hydroelectricity, using the energy of flowing water to spin a turbine connected to a generator that produces electricity. The amount of energy generated depends on the volume of water and the height of the water above the turbine. Hydroelectricity does not actually consume water, as the water is returned to the river. Rather, it only uses the force to spin a turbine in that. Now, hydroelectricity does not produce significant greenhouse gas emissions, but it does have major environmental impacts. The reservoirs often destroy vast areas of highly productive forest and wildlife habitat, and the dams also damage freshwater ecosystems by blocking movement of fish and other organisms. So here we can see the two different sides of ours. You can obviously choose different debates here. I've just chosen the first three. But what I was doing is picking a minimum of three different types and having a good, solid understanding of these. So, a quick summary of renewable energy. Public support for renewable energy is increasing as awareness of environmental issues increase. Governments recognise public opinion and influence transition to renewable energies. And in 2022, the Australian Labor Party committed to renewable energy targets of about 82% of renewable energy by 2030. Now, how does this influence relationships? So, people that are on the side of for renewable energy, okay, they are going to have the more perception that the environment is not a limitless resource and we need to protect the environment. Fossil fuels are a finite resource and climate change is an urgent threat. The way we're going to interact is reducing the mining of coal and switching to that 100% renewable. Okay. The impact is the net reduction of CO2 emissions and the lessened impacts of climate change. Okay, it's a simple PII here. Now, those that are against renewable energy, we just see the environment as a resource for the production of energy. We're going to continue to mine coal for energy production. We might support some, but not as some renewable energies, but not as a replacement of fossil fuel. Agricultural environments will remain intact and free from wind or solar farm disturbances. Climate change impacts continue. Negative visual impacts. Tourism will decrease in areas, will decrease land value. Noise pollution and possible health impacts without coal mining. Okay, but we will preserve bird species against collisions with the turbines. Again, these are some generic responses we can use. Now, some quick tips and tricks for the exam. You need to understand the basis of one environmental issue, that's renewable energy, and the influence it has on relationships with outdoor environments. So here we're going to go back to our description and our debate. We're going to look at probably 1, 2, and 3 and explain either wind energy or solar and then how it impacts our relationships. Some nice quick concept questions for you to gain some further understanding. So just description, who's involved, the influence it has, and then the relationship between social debates and how we perceive the environments. This here is a really great practice question for you to have a go at as well. It's providing you with a case study about renewable energy. So what you're going to do here is outline the two opposing viewpoints. So how we are viewing it and relying on renewable energy versus non-renewable energy. So one viewpoint will be that for renewable energy and one will be that against. It's 2 marks per sort of conflict or viewpoint here. So you're just going to talk about using that case study, which is the people for and against. In this second part of the question, you're going to analyze the impact of the viewpoint on our relationships. So you've already kind of talked about the perception here. So really you're going to look at the interactions and the impacts of these viewpoints for each, which will be 1 mark apiece. Okay, adopting those renewable energy resources and the impact of adopting that, probably positive. Not adopting, more negative, that continued use of fossil fuel for energy production and the impacts of that as a negative. Another one to really have a good go at, it's a similar question. Choosing one of them, we're probably going to pick renewable energy unless you've studied one of the other two, and talk about the debate and the relationships that is the impact. So you kind of got 2 questions here. Analyze the debate about this issue as part 1, and then determine the impact. So you're marking here, give yourself 2 marks for that analyze and 3 marks for that determine the impact, because we're linking to relationships in this question. And then your cause and effect for 2 marks. A little short breakdown. As always, thanks for watching. This is the end of Unit 3. So there'll be some Unit 4 videos coming out as well. If there are any further questions you have about this topic, please feel free to reach out, or else I will see you in the next video. Thanks again.